I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
I'm a relationship hack.
Run up and get touched up, suicide. And all of y'all know my style. I excel, then prevail. Run up and get touched up, suicide, that's it. And all of y'all know my style. I excel, then prevail.
That have been given to you, and if you want to be established in the promises of God, you got to pay the power.
She was the preacher's daughter, but she was sneaky, slick, and freaky. She keep it hotter than fish grease beneath them sheets. Lord have mercy, she was sweet like a peach, tricking motherfuckers for them treats. Good enough to eat, good enough to navigate streets, manipulating niggas and starting bullshit. Beef, she remembered the first time she caught pops with another woman when he should have practiced what he preached. Her psyche was breached, and now she find it difficult to differentiate between the strong and the weak. She praised the Lord and sold the king, cause her body get used around town, and she don't wanna go to church.
When he paid
She don't wanna listen to nobody preach. She don't wanna get up and go to church.
When did he pronounce
She don't wanna listen to nobody preach. Now is everybody afraid to ask this nigga, why in the fuck is your church so big? $100,000 car, $1 million crib, you so blessed. You dress like an old school pimp, seducing the poor people out they 10% tax exempt. You niggas is completely evil. Prey upon old women and innocent people who believe that you some holy redeemer when you just another schemer, a fucking demon. Lies from the devil in disguise. Your devilman is written in the element of surprise. You hide behind your crowd of voices singing your praise, muting out the innocent cries. Innocence dies as she severs her ties. Innocence dies as she buries your lies. You reach out to her but she never replies. What happened to the look in your little girl's eyes? She don't want God.
You can have all the promises memorized. You can confess all the promises. You can shout about all the promises. But let me guarantee you this one thing. None of those promises will activate until somebody, meaning you, will bring the tithe to receive the empowerment. You want the lights on? Pay the power bill. You want the blessing? Present the tithe.
That boy Truth. Oh my God, Truth got records. Whatever's happening in the world, he told me he gonna write a record about it. I want you guys to go to CD Baby and support Truth. He has a new record out a new album called Balls to the Wall. Go get the album. Chocolate, One Set, PTSD, Balls to the Wall, Boycott Christmas, Marching Orders, While You Were Sleeping. But here's the interesting thing about what we doing with Truth. He's going to keep putting out new records. He's going to keep adding records to this album. So keep checking back on his page, because the album, the song list will grow with new topics. This is the first time this has ever happened in history. We're going to keep adding new records based off of what's happening in the current events, right? It's crazy. Please support the brother. The name of the album is Ball to the Wall. The artist is Truth. You find it on cdbaby.com/CD/truth214. Go there right now. Support the brothers movement. That was the new record, Church. And as you could hear, that was Creflo Dollar. We already know what's happening with Creflo Dollar in the world right now. Let me just say this, man. No, I ain't even going to say that right now. Let me just continue to support and promote my businesses. Go to CD Baby as well and get the God Class Volume 1. It is a CD and a lecture on God that I did a few years back. I put music and chants and you know, nature and all kind of things in the background. It's for a meditation kind, so to speak. It's a spiritual discourse with natural environments, multicultural chants, and a variety of musical undertones. This piece is the first in a set of series of verbal intellectual arts pieces from the Street Scholar think tank. It's about God. I need you to go there right now. Get your digital download of this. Please support my movement, and I appreciate it greatly. Also, Weed Juice. My man is from Dina. I grew up with his family. The dude is a personal trainer. Anybody who listens to the Zo What Morning Show will get a discount if you go there and put in the Zo What Show code. 20% off of all of his packages, whether they be detox, whether they be energy, whether they be vitality, whatever it is that he has there, there's a 20% discount on that. Also, please support Real Men Don't Play. by my good friend Bobby Glanton-Smith. Again, Manual for Manhood. Go to his website, Real Men Don't Play, Bobby Glanton-Smith, and support that book. Dr. Mark Goulston, Just Listen. This is a international best-selling book right here on listening. I believe that listening is probably the most important component to communication. Please go there, support Dr. Mark G. Also, I am wearing a Ramomart t-shirt design. When I tell you the t-shirts are just the tip of the iceberg for this brother, he is not just a fashion designer, he is an artist, and he incorporates ancient cultures into his designs. Right now, he's doing ancient Mesopotamia. That's his newest line. And of course, he has Egypt. He's going to go into China. He's going to go into India. His stuff is not just clothes, it's art. Please support Ramomart.com. Also, Horizon Hospitality. Now, if you need office supplies, ink toner, desktop, paper, furniture, technology, anything that has to do with what Home Depot or Staples do, this is a black-owned business. Go there right now and support this black-owned business. Also, what do you know about us? Right? We all, we matter too. We all matter. This is an African-American game, a trivia game to learn about African-American culture. What do you know about us? We all matter. This is a game. Please teach your kids who they are. That's the thing we lack the most in our community. Also, Elephant. Man, I love these dudes, man. All black-owned businesses right now, because the most important thing that we need to do as black people is to raise the quotient of how many times our dollar gets recycled in our community before we take it out and spend it with somebody else. They say we only spend our dollar in our community maybe once or maybe 1.5. Now, if you compare that to the Jewish community, they recycle their dollar 18 times before it leaves their community. So, again, Elephant, high end. Nothing I'm presenting to you is bootleg or knockoff or swap meetish in any kind of way. Please support these people. They good people. They good folk. Please support them. Easy Boy Web. Go to Easy Boy Web. They did my website. They're actually going to redesign my website. These are some brothers out of Atlanta. Anything you need, e-commerce, web design, social media, these brothers get it done. The brother that runs it, his name is Landon. He ain't no joke. Check him out. Also, later this afternoon, go to dashradio.com to listen to The Voice of Reason, my new show, or it's the continuation of my show over at Dash Radio. You see me up there, right there, featured on their webpage, because they know I'm coming this evening from 5 to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to knock your block off. The Zowud Show and The Voice of Reason on fire Mondays. You know how we do. Also, listen, let me say this, man. There are a lot of haters out there. I try not to speak to haters because I know what it is. Our community is poison. And we some backbiting scorpion-like niggas. You know, my great-grandmother, who was a Scorpio, told me a Scorpio will sting itself. Right? She said, I'm a Scorpio and I will shit on a birthday cake. So, and I bring this up because of my, pull it up right now, the Zowud Morning Show and Relationship Dismount book tour. I'm a man of integrity, right? If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And if I don't do it, I'm going to bust my ass to correct any oversight that I have ever made. I don't do certain things to get the response and the praise of people. I do things to change the community for the better. I've always been that way. I believe like that, right? And sometimes, man, there's people out there who don't want to see you win because they're afraid that you might do a better job than they're going to do. Who are afraid that if your voice gets heard, theirs might get muted. You feel me? I'm a man of integrity. I shouldn't have to tell you that. I'm a man of truth. I shouldn't have to tell you that. And just because somebody else want to twist and spin shit just so they can look better because they've made mistakes, don't clump me in the category with somebody else. I'm a true blue dude. And when I ask you to support my So What Morning Show and Relationship Dismount book tour, it's because I'm going to do a real book tour. I'm going to do whatever that money, whatever amount of money we raise, I'm going to put it to what I say I'm going to put it to. We're going to develop this book. Why are we going to develop this book? Because this book is about how to break up properly, how to stick the landing. When you stick the landing is the most important aspect of a gymnastics routine. When you stick the landing, that puts a punctuation mark on that routine. So guess what? A lot of times in breaking up the routine is to carry baggage with you. We're going to teach you how to stick the landing so you can have a clean break and walk away. The relationship dismount, how to stick the landing when leaving a negative relationship. And we're trying to put together a relationship tour where I come out and teach you the exercises that are in the book. 12 chapters. At the end of every chapter, there's exercises on how to do this. How did I get this information? Because I got smashed. My heart got broken. You right? So I had to fix it. I had to deal with myself. That's what this book does. And I'm urging you all to come out and support your boy. And don't listen to the haters. Don't listen to the liars. Don't listen to all the bullshit that's out there because it's not true. Now, with that said, I'm about to take a break. And when I come back, topics. You know how we do. So What Mornings, it's about to get crazy. I'll holler at you in a second. Ladies and gentlemen, the So What Morning Show back in the building. Y'all better go get that truth. I keep telling you, it's fire. CD baby. Listen, today's topic is crazy. It's something we got to deal with. Who created and controls the N-word? Who has the right to use it and who doesn't? Is there an N-word double standard that is employed by African Americans? Let's go deeper. Why does the white supremacist narrative of the N-word, nigger/nigga, seem to have more impact than the black community's POV or understanding of the same word? Somebody talk to us right now. We got questions. You know how we do. Why do some black people defend the use of the word nigga? Some people defend it. We get to use it. You don't. Right? Let's go deeper. In general, who can or can't say the word? When, if ever, can the word be said? How do you feel about the use of the word nigga? How does it make you feel when white folks say it versus when black folks say it? Why is it a term of endearment to black people, and why is it a term of disrespect when white people use it? Let's go deeper. Let's go deeper. Is it different to read a text by an African American who uses it than it is to read it in a text by a non-African American? Why or why not? Does the use of the word in say classic literary works give it validity outside of the classroom? If so, why? How? Man, this is a tough question, dude. This is it. Listen, does the word nigga and the use of it amongst black people kind of empower a kind of self-hate towards each other, knowing, and I would say, the limited history, because sometimes we lock in to just one portion of the word's history. And what is the origin of the word? Who created it originally? And what did it actually mean? Somebody get at us right now. The So What Morning Show, 855-878-4652. Also, go to Twitter, because I will be asking, I will be reading your responses on Twitter, at Zoe Williams. Tweet me your responses. Tweet me your comments. Let's get into it. It's very important that we handle it. Should we kill the word outright? Should it never be used again? Is it the most vile and disrespectful word to ever come out of somebody's mouth? Who said that in the first place? We're talking about the N-word today. Bobby G is in the building. That's Bobby Glanton-Smith, for all those who don't know. Again, go get his book, Real Men Don't Play, at realmendon'tplay.com. Also joined by legendary Dina Love, the homie, the big homie, Freez Luv. Freez Farmer Love is in the building.
What's up, baby?
And of course, comedian extraordinaire, along with Freez Luv, Geoff Brown. Lord Brown!
Thank you, sir. My liege.
Let's go into it. You saw the Oklahoma frat.
Yeah.
The chant.
Yeah.
How did it make you feel? Did it piss you off?
No.
Were you disappointed?
No.
I'm going to be honest. The only thing that pissed me off is the reality of it. You wouldn't say that. They wouldn't say that. You wouldn't say that in Watts. You wouldn't say that in Harlem or Brooklyn.
They wouldn't say it at a school football game.
They wouldn't say it at a school football game. So it was, it really didn't affect me and anger me, because I knew that they were suckers anyway. Wow. It's like, you're a sucker. These guys are kids. They're babies. They're dumb little idiot babies. And
absolutely.
Hey, as far as I'm concerned, say it. Say it. Get comfortable saying it so that you can say it in the right place.
Right.
Place that you get your ass busted for saying it.
Bobby?
I'm stuck on this one, man, because I don't think we really historically understand the origins of the word, the implications of it, and the long-term sickness of the word. When I was a young cat, you call somebody a nigger, and you were white, it was automatically World War III.
That's your ass.
There was a time when you called a black person a nigger. It was a problem. So the word has went through several vacillations, and then you can't bury it. I think the only way that we're going to turn the corner with this is when it dies a natural death. And that's not going to be anytime soon, because it has become too profitable in our culture to use the word in various forms. So it's very problematic to even discuss this, because we're being, I think, unrealistic to use the word in the presence of white people and then expect them not to use it, and then try to figure out when and where they're supposed to use it, because we use it so liberally.
Y'all niggas need to stop. Okay. Here, people who have a problem with the word nigger obviously also have problems with the words plane, file, sit, gate. These are all words that have more than one meaning. I think I was going to say this for the rant, but it's appropriate now. I think the big pushback.
You gonna leave with your best dunk?
I got a bucket full of golf balls for this.
Right.
The biggest problem to me with the word nigga amongst white people and black people, black people can't get over their embarrassment and their desire to show a certain poker face with white folks. And white folks can't get over the fact that there's something that black folks may have that's off limits to them.
Wow. Does the word nigger keep colorism alive? Does the word see, a lot of people don't understand. If we keep it in the context in which enrages us, is that not a vestige of white supremacy?
In itself?
In itself, right?
Yes.
What about hip-hop? Right?
Guilty is charged.
Did hip-hop give the world a license to use it?
Without a doubt.
But come on. When you use it, it's like it has no power. it has power if you let it have power.
Thank you.
You know, that's all I'm saying.
A word is an agreement.
It's like when they had the big campaign. Well, we're gonna bury the N-word. We're gonna that was the biggest waste of time. If you want to bury a word that affects black people, how about burying illiteracy? Bury that word.
Right.
Let that have no meaning to my race.
Right.
But nigga is illiterate. It's ignorant.
In
And
one
if you try to
sense.
embed it, no, it's ignorant because
go.
when most time when I hear people say nigga, they generally acting pretty ignorant. That's what I see.
And that's why I like the
associate
word,
with
because it identifies an ignorant person.
Thank you.
Does it?
What do you
Yes.
call a guy that comes to the club and shoots it up?
Does it?
What do you call
Okay.
him? A rambunctious guy?
Exactly.
He's a nigga.
Let's stop fronting. Everybody here. That's what pisses me off with the Obamas. Everybody here knows some niggas. Everybody here is related to knows some niggas. It's a female in your life that you treasure over all others, that if you heard a certain nigga was sitting on your couch next to her,
I got
you
something.
would jump up off this radio station and run, not walk to her house. We know these niggas.
What?
Stop.
But those
What?
niggas
But
have
wait.
multiplied. That's the
Okay,
problem.
okay.
But what if the word nigga was too good of a word to use to define that kind of person?
Then we need another one, and we can use nobody's using rutabagas. Let's go with that.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Call them rutabagas.
Jive ass rutabaga.
Jive
ass rutabaga.
Punk ass rutabaga. I'm good with that. But we gonna need a word that describes shiftless, lazy.
You know, these are all definitions that the white folk gave to the word nigga, and these are connotations, not denotations. Mike from Chicago, you're on the line. Talk to me right now.
Okay, can we start getting people on the line first?
They're on the line.
Okay, Mike, this is your
Mike?
turn. Okay, I'm gonna say it again. Could we start getting people on? Like you tell us when somebody on the line, and then you tell him, and then he'll tell everybody. Because we always
mean like
do
I
this.
just did?
No.
Well, in the
Holy
interim,
mother of God.
in the interim, this is a very explosive conversation because from a generational standpoint, we
Exactly.
see
There
it
you
differently.
go. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
It just
and
you
it
know,
has to be respected.
It does have to be respected.
and I'm problem. It's a problem for me because as someone who had to finally get to a point where I took it upon myself to define what men are because there was a blurred line between men and niggas, and we seen an explosion in the number of niggas and the minimization of men. And for me, that's very problematic because I see a lot of youngsters don't know nothing but niggas. That's all they know is niggas, man.
I feel you. And I, in respect to the generational thing, when I use a word, because let me tell you, this is a word that, you know, God rest my parents, both of them have passed, but in their generation, that I wasn't allowed to say that word in my house at all. You can't say that. That whole generation has a whole different connection with that word. My generation, and I'll be 50, so I'm old too, but as it goes. The newer the generation, the less effective the word. And I've seen kids in New York. I remember one time I was in New York and I saw these Spanish kids. They were Puerto Rican, Dominican, I don't know, with some Indian kids from India, and they was calling each other nigga this and nigga that. And I was like, I couldn't get mad because they didn't have it. When they used the word, it had nothing to do with race.
Yes, it does. It had everything to
No,
do
it
with
did
race.
not. To you, it did.
That's
To
what I'm
them, it
saying.
did
A
not.
little white kid in Russia.
No, look, you know, it's something we really have to have an open discussion about.
Okay.
Because subliminally, it has everything to do with race. And it has everything to do with behavior. Because you do not associate niggas with achievement. You don't associate niggas with success. You don't associate niggas with prosperity.
Aye. Okay.
Jay-Z's a nigga.
Yeah, it's certain. Okay.
But he's the only rich nigga.
50 cents a
The
nigga.
rest of the people who use that word wish they was him, but to get there, they got to do some crazy ass nigga shit.
Well, at what point does the word not have any power then? When? Are you going to
We
give
haven't
this
got there
word
yet.
power forever?
But you know what it is? It's a limited perspective. That's why when you guys said generational, from a certain generation, that's all they see the word nigga as.
It means nothing. It does not mean the same thing it means to an older generation.
Listen,
To a
we
younger
got to
generation.
take a quick break.
Behaviorally, I beg to differ.
We got to take a quick break. When we come back, more on the N-word. Who can say it, who can. We'll be back.
That's what I
2.2.
mean by that.
Now I want to talk about the double standard that black men face. When a black man misbehaves in a violent or awful way, people are very eager to call them the N-word or to consider them in that manner and to encourage that. And what I'm saying is that if you look at, I don't know, George Bush or some, I don't know, I was going to say Chris Brown, but I'm trying to pick like some white person that's misbehaved grotesquely. People aren't pressured to call them cracker. There's not like an impetus and a demand for those people to be called by racial slurs. Instead, the criticisms that stand, the liberal or conservative criticisms that are in place, are sufficient. We handle it more formally. Whereas with black men, if they misbehave and if they're no good, they aren't valuable, they aren't doing anything right, they need to mature, that word is what everybody seems to want to have in play. Why? You don't need that.
But the thing that bothers me the most is when people argue that it's just not fair. It's a double standard that black people can use the N-word and everyone else can't. The reason this bothers me so much is it's completely self-serving and disingenuous. These people do not care about fairness or any of the disparities that black people in this country and around the world face, because if they did, they wouldn't be arguing over the use of the N-word. Instead, they'd focus on real problems like job discrimination, housing discrimination, racial profiling, police brutality, the school-to-prison pipeline, stop and frisk, the harsher prison sentences that black people and other minorities face. They would rather argue that it's not fair that there are social consequences for people that aren't black who use the N-word. Priorities. You has them. So now
I've watched the Jeffersons, and they would say, you know, you remember back, what was the saying that they used to say? Nigger, please. Like,
Yeah.
they said that on television in the 70s, but we can't say it now.
But black people said it because we moved into this post-racial ideology, this colorblind ideology that says if we don't talk about race, if we don't name race, if we don't speak certain racialized terms, and somehow the world will be racially better, and it's simply not true. I don't have a problem with a sitcom or with you as an esteemed journalist using the N-word in context because it has explanatory value. Do I think that white people should be using it? Absolutely not. Do I think someone with a biracial son should be confused about this? Absolutely not. I always find it remarkable that white people find the N-word usage such a complicated puzzle. It's not that complicated. Just don't use it. You just have to accept. You just have to. Well, let me finish the thought though. You just have to accept that there are some things in the world, just at least one thing that you can't do that black people can, and that might just be okay.
Wowzer. It's a heated discussion, heated debate. Corey Holcomb just joined the conversation with us, and once again,
Nigga number one.
I want to reiterate, we have 32 days left on our Indiegogo campaign, the Zo What Morning Show and Relationship Dismount Book Tour. I want to thank the 87 people who have contributed to the fund. I appreciate you guys for that. Please continue to contribute. And like I said, don't listen to the haters that are out there talking crap about what we're trying to do. We're trying to do some big things. So please continue to support that. Niggers. But let me come back. So let me come back and put this in perspective. We're talking about the N-word, right? We're talking about who can say it and who can't say it, who has the right to say it, who doesn't have the right to say it. Listen, my opinion is that this whole to-do, like the brother so eloquently said, nobody should say it. Okay, nobody should say it in the context in which we're arguing in. When we talk about the vitriol associated with the word nigger, right? We're only talking about a sliver of time in the history of the black man and woman. So when we just talk about that one little sliver of time, we're making that sliver more important than any other meaning. So White people made it mean ignorant, lazy, darky, black. It's the root to colorism. It's the root to self-hate. But when you go back and you find out where that word really came from, now you see an agenda for why they're trying to make the word the villain. You see the agenda. We're going to get deeper into that. What do white people do with our history normally? What do they do?
Scramble it up, hide, separate
They
you
take
from
it, rewrite it,
And
right?
make the powerful shit evil.
Right. They rewrite it and give it back to you, and then they take all of the real meaning and keep it for themselves. You get Christianity. Fuck Horus and where it came from.
None of that for you.
Fuck your shit.
None for you.
I'm going to turn your history into devil worship.
Absolutely.
And then I'm going to rewrite it and give you the dirty white Pal Gasol version of your original belief. That's the hustle. So anything that has any really intrinsic value to you as a culture, just like, for instance, we come here in America, as slaves, we eat American food. Just like the brother Dr. Sabi who was here, he said, you don't eat the food you used to eat. So not only are you eating the spiritual food no more, you're not eating the physical food you're supposed to be eating. Your whole shit is in reverse. So you don't even know what the fucking word nigga actually means and what power it may have for you.
That's right.
Corey?
No, you said intrinsic. I didn't know what the fuck that meant.
Inner,
I'm
inside,
stuck on
inner.
that. Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Innate. Y'all stop fucking around. Y'all know the words. Y'all be bullshitting.
I've seen it. I've never used it.
I've seen it.
You know, you spoke very eloquently and convincingly, Zoe, but the problem is not so much who did what, it's the outcome. And we stuck with a word that, if you weigh it up, is it beneficial or does it keep us from doing the kind of things that change our condition? Because right now, niggas is in trouble.
That is a, man.
It can be.
That was a good point.
Beneficial.
It can be if we find out what it actually means.
Well,
that too.
Yeah.
But see, here's the thing. I noticed how uncomfortable Caucasian people get when you say the word nigga when you around them. Because I do it sometime on purpose to throw off the balance in the room.
Absolutely.
I love saying to white folks, when there's a whole group of white folks, see, I'm a motherfucking nigga from Chicago. You understand what I'm saying?
They already know.
I see the whole shock in their face, like, but they smart enough to know this nigga done reversed it.
Yeah.
He done reversed it
That's
on
exactly what they was going to say when you left.
Right.
No,
he ain't saying it with shame. He's saying it like he's standing on it.
Right.
Yeah, I really don't give a fuck what a stranger who I feel like is up to no good think about me anyway.
But
that's
Bobby,
why I could be in a room with them and fuck with them with it.
Right. But Bobby, isn't that what the Black Panthers did? They said, fuck y'all, we taking nigga back. And nigga means I'ma fuck you up if you do anything to my community. That's what the Black Panthers did. They took the word back. Now I know Black Panthers. I know people who were children of these dudes, and that's what they told me. We take the fucking power back. We gonna claim this word. I'm a nigga you don't want to fuck with. How about that?
Yeah. Right. But that wasn't sustainable. And
Maybe not.
Well, that's important though, because if we took it back, we gave it back at some point. Because it did not turn into something that we could build an empire on.
But its insustainability has nothing to do with the
We
word.
didn't take it back,
Well,
and we didn't give it back. It's just out there. Now, what the fuck you gonna do with it? Because we got too many problems to be worried about name calling.
Thank you. Right.
Right.
And
I mean,
it's a sound. It's a sound.
Right.
It's a sound.
Word.
No one owns a sound. You do not own this sound. We all agree that elevator means this box that takes you up and down. Now, in Swahili, elevator might not mean that at all. It's an agreement. When I say nigga, the niggas I fuck with, there's 4 niggas I fuck with. These my niggas. This one.
And let me tell you, this is my elevator. When I'm feeling low, I talk to him because he elevates me.
Right.
Right.
So there's always more meaning. It's what you choose to let the word mean to you.
I love when white
The word
folks use
nigga. Hey man, I'm not gonna let a word get me bent out of shape. So you can have me arguing and tearing up the place. So now I can get arrested
for name calling. But look, the most Because that's all it is. It's name calling. The most important thing black people need to know is that Caucasian people are out to fuck you up. And if you don't believe it, you go get fucked up blindsided.
This is what we've forgotten too. Corey's taking off from the free throw line with a blindfold on right now.
Because it is what it is.
But this is what we forget.
That's real.
Words are the fundamental element to spells. Niggas don't do spells no more.
Wow. Repeat that. Words are
whatever the thinker thinks, the prover will prove. Whatever you speak, ask, and ye shall receive. In the Bible it says, ask,
and
ye shall receive. Right? Knock,
and
right?
The door will be open.
No, the first, but it's in chronological order. Ask, and ye shall receive. Seek, ye shall find. Knock, and the door will be open. Ask, seek, knock. A-S-K. The spoken word has power. We've lost that connection to the things we speak power to. If we had a knowledge of what nigga actually meant. Now, when you ask somebody, what does the word nigga mean? They go right back to Spain.
Inferior, stupid, lazy, blah, blah, yeah.
They go right back to Spain. That's the origin for most people. Why? Because the European construct is the authority when it comes to knowledge for niggas. Right? You go right back to Spain. Oh, it just means black, negro. Oh, but when you start going back further, you start to find out this word has a deeper meaning, that white people had an ulterior motive and a purpose for hiding. Fuck that. We need to hide this meaning, because if the nigga ever found out that that's what this means, he couldn't live here with us. He couldn't pursue the template of success that we want him to pursue that makes us comfortable around him. Bobby?
You mentioned that there's more words in this conversation. I was a Negro proudly in the 60s.
Me too.
You know, I was colored in the 50s. You better not call me no Negro. And then the 70s, say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. And here comes Jesse Jackson with that bullshit about an African American. So by the time you figure out who the fuck you are, you done wasted 40 years of your damn life if you're going for that, who controls your narrative. So the association with words is very important, because as a man thinketh, so is he.
Yes.
As he continues to think, that's how he gonna act. And that's why this conversation is very relevant, because what power do we give to any particular thing is pretty much an individual decision based on your collective experience.
But see, here's what it is. Let me say something in response to that, Bobby. The problem is, we need to find a way. Everybody with an internet show who's speaking on something real needs to put the message out there that the black men on television have been handpicked. They have been skint like fish. They are not going to do anything to mess up their opportunity to stay on the television. They asked LeBron James, why do you have on that I Can't Breathe shirt? And every real black man saw him cop out.
And guess what?
He said, I would to salute the family. I was like, oh, you.
So guess what?
They test your nuts right there,
so
boy.
So guess what you saying? Guess what you saying?
What?
The African American is the real nigga.
The Jesse Jacksons.
Those are the real niggas.
The LeBrons.
Those are the real niggas.
I don't think LeBron is doing it necessarily because he's trying to be bad, but his lack of knowledge is so obvious when he speaks.
Right.
I'm not talking about vocabulary. I'm talking about when he said, I don't need a dad because he come from a single mom.
Right.
When he said what I was like, wow, he missing a lot of
shit.
A lot of pieces.
So listen,
a lot of shit.
We got to take a quick break. Bernadette from Chicago says, my granny used to call the girls nigress. I guess that was supposed to be feminine for the N-word. Growing up in Chicago. I'll be back at 2.2. The N-word is on trial. The So What Morning Show. I'll be back.
It is almost impossible for you to win a lawsuit. I have had individuals who have been called nigger by the CEO of a Fortune 500 company in front of the entire office and had their cases thrown out.
Yeah, we got a black man as president, and we have more complaining about racism than ever. I mean, I think that's hilarious.
But I think, honestly, because there's more white people afraid of a black man taking over the nation.
They're afraid.
They want to be honest about it.
Dear, they voted him in. Only 12% of the population's black. Whites voted him in.
It was the younger generation that did it. It wasn't the older white people who did it.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Chip on your shoulder. I can't do much about that. Yeah, I think you have too much sensitivity and not enough sense of humor. Well, it depends how it's said.
Is it okay to say that word? Is it ever okay to say that word?
It depends how it's said. Black guys talking to each other seem to think it's okay.
But you're not black. They're not black.
Oh, I see. So a word is restricted to race. Got it. Can't do much about that.
I can't believe someone like you is on the radio spewing out the nigger word, and I hope everybody
I didn't spew out the nigger word.
Nigger.
Right. I said that's what you hear.
Heard it.
Yes, they did.
I hope everybody heard it. So
they did, and I'll say it again. Nigger is what you hear on HB. Why don't you let me finish a sentence?
Okay.
Don't take things out of context. Don't double NAACP me. Leave them in context.
Let me tell you something, Gino, and you out here talking about a clique. The only clique you need to know about is the Harlem Heat and Sister Sherry. See, because what you dealing with here is the brotherhood. It's non-stop from this point on in WCW. We take what we want, and after we take Lex Luger and the Giant, we want the gold sucker. Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga. I should point out for the record, Steve.
Immediately after it comes out of your mouth, you grab your head, you're like, oh shit, what did I just say? And then they cut away. Now, what happened when the camera stopped rolling? And what was the reaction in the locker room?
You know, it was my most embarrassing moment. You know, I'm from the street, and that's a word, you know, in the neighborhood that we. Yeah, it's a word that we use, you know, loosely all the time, you know, in the neighborhood. And I was just intense. I was caught up in the moment, and I slipped out, you know. But actually, I thought I was going to be, you know, totally blackballed from that. And actually, Hogan actually came up to me and told me not to feel bad about it and whatnot. He said, but you know what? I'm a good N-word.
White people have vilified the word nigga so much that it has become a standard by which black people are trying to overcome.
They vilified it because they mad because you said it and they can't.
Right. And you know how white people are. White people feel like I can go into a country, take that motherfucker over, rewrite the laws, do all kind of. Why can't I use this word? How come?
How dare you tell me something I can't do?
Tell me, the white man, the motherfucker who control all this shit, I can't use a word that I created to label you niggas as. Now, did he create the word, or did he take ownership of the word?
Well, if you look at most history, he took ownership of the word, because that's what he's done with everything else. The odds. The odds.
You created the word, and all of a sudden this motherfucker came in and got the copyright for it.
Right, because, well, you didn't know about copywriting, nigga. I mean,
yeah. Right? So now, I don't want to be a nigga. I want to strive to be an African American. Well, what if striving to be an African American is a neutered nigga?
Well, first of all, what the fuck is an African American?
African American is a guinea wop.
What is that?
And when I use the word guinea and I use the word wop as derogatory terms for Italians, since we're talking about derogatory words like nigga and all these little nicknames that we've created to press buttons and get people upset and neglect the real agenda. Okay, African American, Franco Africano, Giuseppe Americano were both Italians. They were both discoverers. They were both land takeovers and conquerors and whatnot.
Yes.
The original landmass of Akibu land, Franco Africano went down there, discovered it, and we know how the Italians discovered
right.
stuff, and changed it to Africano land or Africa. So, and same thing with America. This was, the indigenous people did not call this landmass that we live on America. It had all kind of names according
But
to
the
what other
indigenous
region.
people, so because a lot of people don't know, I always say this.
The people that was born there.
The Indians.
The people that developed from there.
And they wasn't even called Indians.
Right.
The native, the native Italians, the Native Americans.
The victims of Caucasian people as everybody else is.
Yeah.
And then some
that'll
people
work.
will even say that the word Africa comes from the Arabic term Ifriqiya, which means to separate. So when they come in, they start separating and dividing shit up amongst themselves. The land of division.
In
Ifriqiya.
Chicago, Caucasian people are often known as one time, which means bullshit motherfuckers trying to take your freedom.
You know, Freez brought up something that's interesting when he mentioned guineas and wops. You hear that less. I can remember last time I heard wop because it became less and less significant.
That's a dance.
Exactly.
Right?
No, wops. That's what they call folks.
WAP. You know where it came from?
No,
Without papers.
Okay.
A sandwich at Burger King.
No.
A Whopper?
It's not without papers. the real term WAP, and mind you, this is from my father, who was a wordsmith, jazz head. He loved finding out stuff about stuff. And I asked him, I said, why do they call Italians WAPs? He says, well, not only did they call Italians WAPs, they called any immigrant a WAP because the sound of the stamp at the immigration on Ellis Island was WAP.
Wow.
And it stuck with the Italians because there were so many Italians.
Good shit.
Bitches who get beat up all the time should be called wops.
Oh.
They hear that shit. Wop, bitch. Go ahead and watch the bitches, bitch. Bitches are the original wops.
Oh, God.
Cavemen used to walk up with their clubs.
Wop, wop.
The reason that's not only enlightening to me, it also shows the progression of a group of people because it was associated with something that they wanted to get beyond as a race or as a culture. And somehow the word disappeared damn near because most people now wouldn't even associate WAP with Italians.
Right.
But nigga has flourished.
But see, again, it goes back. It goes back. I think there is a spiritual connection to black folk and the word nigga.
What?
I really believe
Absolutely.
that. I believe that. That's why we can't give it up. It's something about it that we hold on to.
We're not gonna give it up.
That we can't give it up. It's something about us that keeps us locked into it where we won't release it. That's what I feel.
It's almost like that thing where they say, you see a bitch, hit a bitch. If I'm a bitch.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but how many
bitch.
times? How many times I've been short on my rent, like $200. One of my homies comes through and gives me $2. Like, yo, is that $2 I owe you? My nigga. I'm at the most time. That is the highest name I can give him.
That's why I say it can't be all evil.
So that's what I was about to say. And this is for Bobby and everybody here, is the N-word the literary version of soul food, or does it have a spiritual value, right? Because most people don't understand the spiritual value because they don't know the history. But what it's become is a term of endearment. In other words, literary soul food. We took a fucked up word and made it cool. That's my nigga. That's my homie. Right? That's my peoples. So literary soul food. Or does it really have a spiritual value? Bobby?
Well, soul food may be good to you, but it's not good for you.
At all.
Right.
And that's the problem.
Well, what is soul food?
Well, what we call soul food is food that's high in caloric,
high in empty
pig's
calories,
knuckles,
sugar, and
pig ears,
slave food.
Slave food.
It's
Yeah.
really slave food.
You don't eat soul
It's what's
food.
left over.
You don't eat soul food.
When
Soul
you
food
find
eats
out
you.
what the word nigga really means, can you still categorize it as literary soul food?
Well, let's find out what
Well,
it really
what
means.
the
how many
fuck do
people
it
know what it
mean?
means?
We gonna know what it means before the end of this show. You
And
know
I'm
that
gonna
shit.
tell-
You done
and-
studied the shit, huh?
Hell yeah.
And for some
We don't know
reason-
what the fuck it means.
And all
I'll
I'm
get it like the end, like the Maury Povich results on the to be continued shows. Huh?
Tune in next week.
Right,
to find out.
exactly.
I'm gonna tell you, it's just like with the using of N-word. What point, if we replace nigga with N-word, Does it have not the same
The
effect?
same meaning.
Because I can't stand those N-words. I don't want you hanging around those N-words.
Right.
If I ever see you with another N-word, you're fired.
Right.
Means the
Does
same
it not
shit.
mean the same thing?
Well,
it means the same thing. So,
my bad. I'm
oh
sorry.
no, I'm done.
No, what I was saying, like, I'm telling you, man, I use this word, nigga, as a way to show myself as being a free man. Because most guys can't use it at work. Most guys can't use it at work. If Stephen A. Smith use it,
he done.
He gets suspended again. if you name it, they lose their job. I love getting my job put on the line because I know that the only reason I eat because people give a fuck about what I got to say.
But these are the diluted niggers.
That's what I'm saying. If you can't listen, if you cannot use the word nigger and you a black man at your job, you are a slave.
How about it? We've got a caller on the line. Andrew from Las Vegas, you're on the line. Let's speak on it.
Zo, Mr. Williams, what's going on, brother?
What's happening, partner? Welcome to the show, my friend.
I have a question for you, and I'll make it quick.
Please.
Do you believe that this word nigger was used to control black folks in ways where they can't perpetuate themselves to be intelligent? For example, I remember listening to Richard Pryor, and he said on the Sunset Strip that he would never use the word nigger again because it's basically dead.
Right.
And I believe the word is used constantly to control black folks at will. But then you got these intelligent brothers like Dr. Umar Johnson and so on and so forth that are basically trying to free their minds at some point. I don't know. What do you think?
You bring up a great point. But here's the thing. Whoever controls the narrative of the words you use, whoever controls the definitions of the words you use.
People don't know what it means.
Right. If motherfuckers control the definition, let me give you an example. My homeboy Furpo Carr wrote a book. Let me pull it up for you right now. It's on Amazon.com. Let me pull this book up for you.
Shout out to Furpo.
Furpo's no motherfucking joke, right? I want everybody who's listening right now to go get, hold on, to go get Furpo Carr's book. Let me pull it up for you right now so you can understand what this is. This shit is so fucking powerful. This is proving my point right here. The book is called Wicked Words, Poisonous Minds, Racism in the Dictionary. He takes the entire Webster's Dictionary and breaks down every word in it from its etymological root. Not the definition of the word, but the origin of what that word actually meant. Right? He takes, and he shows every word's racist origin. When the Europeans go to Africa and they saw gorillas, gorilla, Greek word, which means hairy African woman. The fucking Greek nigga who saw the gorillas thought they were African women, so he used the word gorillae. African women? Those ain't women, nigga. Those are gorillas. Those are whatever the fuck. You see what I'm saying? Those are monkeys. Those are primates.
So basically, he proved the wickedness of Caucasian
That's
people.
my point. So when you say, does the word hold us back? Yes, it holds us back if we use his definition of it.
Thank you.
Go get the book, Wicked Words.
They're puzzles. It's a puzzle. In order for it to work, you got to use it all.
Man, we got to take a quick break. Turn that truth up on the way out.
Wow. One of my favorite words on trial today. I think we're going to open it today. The word nigga is one of the last doors to be opened before black people's eyes are truly open and we truly start our ascension back to where we were 6, 7, 8, 10,000 years ago. The desire to use it by white people. When I see white people use the word nigga, I'm tired of everybody trying to close it down and fold it up. I know you by what you say. I know you by what you do. I think the rebel flag should not be outlawed. Put it up so I know where not to spend my money. Stop taking free speech away from people. White people should be as free as a bird to say the word nigga as long as they are prepared to deal with the consequences. It's as simple as that. You don't own the word. No one owns the word. We have a meaning for it. It means what it means to us. It meant what it meant to you. And unless and until we have another title for the kind of cats I'm talking about, when I use the word, I'm going to use the word nigga. I'm done.
Okay. We got the video right now that's finna show you what the word actually means.
Really?
Let's see.
What it actually means. Now you tell me, after you see this fucking video, that we don't have the power to take this word back and then embody what it originally meant. Go with it right now. I'm going to say something right now. Napoleon had a beautiful line. Well, it ain't beautiful. It's really fucking disgusting. And the line is, history is a set of lies agreed upon. I don't want you to know that nigga means God.
Damn. History is a set of lies.
How about it? I don't want you to know you're a God. That's what you said nigga meant in your history. As long as there are African Americans trying to live up to a standard you didn't write, you didn't create, you'll never know who the fuck you really were. In the eyes of you, the creator of anything that can be called civilized. How about that? I'm going to take nigga, the very term you used. First, look, this is called reverse engineering.
It's a pimp game.
Right, it's called reverse engineering. In the Bible, the naga, which is the serpent, is evil. He's the devil. I'm going to take your shit and make it evil while I'm still studying it. You look up fucking.
Are you saying the Bible is some bullshit?
Hey, it's the reverse engineering of your shit. The watered down, diluted diet version of what you wrote.
No,
the Bible is the tool for a man to get his congregation to give him money for a jet.
A jet.
The Bible can be used for that type of shit.
No question. You saw the movie. You saw the movie with Denzel.
One more thing. You referred to hieroglyphics. Those are actually called Neju ledgers.
Yeah, Medu Netter.
Yo.
The word of God. That's what Metu Netter mean. The word of God. Nigga means God.
Creflo Dollar. The ghoul of Satan.
So guess what, you bougie motherfuckers running out here trying to be African Americans? That's a template they created for you to be.
Punk ass.
The type of nigga they want. I gotta take a break. I'll be back after that shit. Holla.
There'll never be a nigger I see. There'll never be a nigger I see. You're headed from a tree, but I don't know what's on me. There'll never be.
The people associated with this frat are almost as reckless with their camera phones as they are with their backwards-ass sensibilities. These kids are either complete morons or they're debased by a culture that makes this sort of behavior seem normal. Probably a combination of the two. In any event, I'm sure we haven't seen the last inflammatory video out of this scandal. If there's a bit of good news, the fraternity chef who lost his job when SAE was shut down by the university is now getting some crowdsourced support. An Indiegogo page that was set up on Howard's behalf has raised almost $40,000 in just 2
have a poll tax, they can say you can't have a gas tax or cigarette tax, anything else. Federal government's telling states pretty tough what their business is. Now, you can say that they can't discriminate, but I've got to prove that it discriminates, and I can't prove it in Texas. There are more niggers voting there than there are white folks. There are more of them buying poll taxes than there are white folks. Higher percentage of them. And I can't show that the literacy test is discriminate against because they haven't got any. They got no test at all. Just like God, anybody that can get up and pay $1.06 can vote.
Oh shit! Listen,
I like him.
We not gonna ever escape this. And I'm not going to say so-called hurt because there's real hurt associated with the word. But that's only in context of slavery, which is a sliver. Slavery is a sliver of your history. And the best way to keep your punk ass fixated on trying to prove to him that you're worthy within his system is to keep you fixated on a word in context to him putting you in slavery. That's all he got to do is keep you there. If you expand your consciousness and say, wait a minute, nigga actually means God to our people. They ain't gonna tell you, what's your boy, Socrates, Aristotle, Plato, all these bitch ass niggas waited 20-something years to get into the mystery schools of ancient Egypt. Well, most niggas don't even know Egypt is a Greek word. Ethiopia is a Greek word. That's when them motherfuckers came in and started renaming shit. You look at the brother who built the largest pyramid, 481 feet tall. What do the Greeks call him? Cheops or Cheops. That shit sounds Greek. Why? Go back to his name in ancient Kemet. You know what his name was?
Nigga.
Khufu. That sound like a nigga on your neck. The homie Khufu coming through.
Right.
You want money to Khufu?
You know you sitting on Khufu's car, right?
Right. You understand? So again, rewrite the narrative, claim the copyright, then they keep the power in the word. Who was the most evil motherfucker in the world as categorized by the media?
Hitler.
No. Not just, there was another motherfucker who they called the most evil motherfucker in the world. You know what his name was? Aleister Crowley.
Oh, Aleister Crowley, yeah.
You study Aleister Crowley, go, that nigga's a devil worshiper. That motherfucker's dressed in Egyptian garb. Yo shit. Yo knowledge. Yo history classified, as categorized as evil. So the Nagas.
So you saying that's why they came after Osama bin Laden?
Again, whenever you step into the real versus the shit they prepare for you, Napoleon,
have a problem.
Napoleon, history is a set of lies agreed upon.
Every black person I ask,
story.
I say, what did Osama bin Laden do?
They can't tell you.
Most of them can't say shit. They try to think of something they heard on TV.
Yeah.
I was like, so what did he do? He's a criminal. What did he do? I know he was a rich motherfucker. And he wasn't Caucasian. So they made it where his riches was illegal. And they went over there and they had them hillbillies in the army from Alabama shoot up the whole motherfucking country. That's what I saw.
By the way, somebody is just dressing us on Twitter right now. It's Andrew Roberts. He says, you talk about the Bible a lot as if it was written by whites to manipulate the conscious mind into believing man and not God. First off,
ask him who wrote the Bible. He's not going to be able to tell you.
First off, if we talk about the original authors, first off, the original authors of the Bible versus the original organizers of the Bible.
Somebody told me it was wise men from back in the day who wrote the Bible. And I was like, who the fuck was they?
First and foremost, America is the most religiously illiterate country in the world. The most religiously illiterate. You don't know shit about your belief.
I know that because I fuck all them church hoes.
How many?
Easiest in the world.
How many religious motherfuckers don't want to fuck with magic?
Exactly. It's evil.
It's evil. Magic is evil. Well, if magic is evil, then your whole story of the three wise men can't be told. Because the word for magician comes from the word magi. The wise men are magi, which produces our word wise. And who were magicians in the Bible? Oh, the Egyptians, the bad guys in the Bible. If you don't know the context, the language, you know the language shifts from Old Testament to New Testament, right?
Niggas don't know that.
There are different languages. There's Amharic, there's Aramaic, there's Ashuric,
niggas
there's
know only
Greek,
English.
There's Hebrew.
You just lost all the motherfuckers. Most of them going to get a beer now. Fuck
Right. If you say anything other than thee, watch this. Start going thee and thou.
Right.
Thee and thou to niggas. What niggas don't understand is that Old English is not the voice of God. It's the language of your oppressor.
Right. There's Galilean Arabic. What language did Jesus speak?
They think Jesus was like, man, get me off this cross. That's what they think he was saying.
Again.
Dumb church motherfucker.
Again, if Moses in the book of Exodus put his hand in his bosom, I think that's Exodus 3:14. No, not 3:14. That's I am that I am. But in Exodus, in the book of Exodus, look it up. Moses puts his hand in his bosom and pulls it back out, and it turns leprous white. Well, what color was his hand before it turned white? Motherfuckers don't read. When they describe leprosy in the Bible, they say white skin with a thin yellow hair protruding. Yellow hair is blonde. Now, if you don't know that, but let me do it another way. If your reverend is teaching about how to get money and get blessed by God by giving him money, but he's not teaching you the authentic history of the book because he doesn't know the language, then you are not ever going to be free. What you're going to be is a servant to a pimp. That's what you're going to be. Because guess what? The knowledge of self empowers people to do better. That's why the Jews are as powerful as they are. They said, well, fuck it. We're going to take this narrative and we don't give a fuck what nobody say. We're not going to come up off of it. Anybody say anything about it? We got the Anti-Defamation League for that ass. Anybody who try to challenge us on anything that's regarding what we call our fucking history, we coming after your ass. Niggas don't know how to do that. Corey?
So what you saying, so basically is a black gang leader is better for a young man than a black preacher? Is that what you're saying, so?
Say again?
A black gang leader is better for a young man about 7, 8, 9, 10 years old than a black preacher?
No, I think they're both equally damaging.
But I'm saying, out of the two fucked up people.
But what I will say is this:
I'll take the preacher.
Why?
Because chances are, I have an opportunity to deprogram the black man that's under the preacher. The chances are of me deprogramming the black man that's under the gangbanger are diminished significantly.
I disagree. Because in the streets, let me just say this: in the streets, you learn what's real.
That's where you go.
In the church, you learn imaginary shit that you dare not question,
which is much easier to deprogram.
You lost.
Shit.
You lost.
I don't know about that.
You fucking lost. A young man molded from a preacher versus a young man molded from a gang leader. Because if you got a moral ground, if you got moral grounds, you're gonna leave the bullshit alone anyway.
Right.
But with that church shit, you spent your whole life wondering, am I fucking up for not doing what my mind say? And my mind say this is some bullshit.
Hey, what?
Jesus, you a bullshit motherfucker.
Hey,
I ain't never seen you, nigga. If I ain't never seen you, I can't fuck with you for real.
And that's a real that's a real thing. That's a real thing. I don't think we get Malcolm X.
Yeah, you don't
unless we get
Detroit Red.
You see what I'm saying?
I don't think we get him unless that dude exists. And all I'm saying is, no, we're not condoning the behavior of the quote unquote European defined nigger.
Yeah, right.
We're not justifying tearing shit up, hurting motherfuckers, killing your own. What we're saying is there is a realness and an authenticity in a nigga that doesn't exist in a pretentious, neutered, white supremacist, accepted African American.
John Lemon, sperm leaky booty motherfucker.
Oh, damn.
What? That's what he is. Why is everybody scared to call it? Sperm leaky booty. Sperm leaky booty.
We don't have that power no more.
Beige sperm drips.
We don't have that power no more. Remember, there are statements. Veronica Conway brought this to my attention. When the sisters first came over here as slaves, because they were still connected to their culture. They were still connected to their God. Dude, they used to chant sickness on massa.
Yeah.
They used to chant sickness
and it was
on massa.
working.
And it was working. When you go back to Haiti, Toussaint L'Ouverture, the motherfuckers kicked Whitey's ass physically and spiritually. That's why Napoleon Bonaparte made it a mandate. We ain't gonna never take our foot off of Haiti. That's why Haiti today is the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. They stay on Haiti's neck. Because Haiti was the one that said, fuck white supremacy, fuck slavery, we gonna put voodoo, we gonna put Santeria, we gonna put foot in ass, and you gonna get the fuck up out of here. That's why the sanctions are still in place right now. They don't want black men to be God, because if black man is God, we don't have to demand shit. Now we're in a space of commanding, and they know this to be true. That's why they're the gatekeepers of your knowledge. Corey?
No, I'm just saying they should do a movie just off what you said right there. They should do a movie that's 2 hours long. The first hour is about how the women were as they got off the boats and how they was down with what they know from back then. And then the other hour of the movie is to show how the women act now and what they down for now. So maybe they can see who they used to be and start to understand that everything they talking about, everything they doing on TV, internet, right?
Bullshit.
It's, say it again, Jeff.
It's some inconsequential bullshit.
You are destroying yourself and the children watching you, bitch.
There's a book I need you to get. Go to Amazon right now
They make audio
to speak exactly what this is more of a visual book to speak exactly to what Corey is talking about right now. The book is called Image of the Black in Western Art. This fucking book starts with black royalty. There are medieval European paintings of black kings and queens looking outside of a castle's window, and there's white people coming out of the woods like savages with sticks and fire. And you see the black people inside their castle with crowns on.
What's the name of the book?
Image of the Black. There it is right there. Image of the Black in Western Art. Now to speak what Corey is talking about, it's 4 volumes of that. By the time you get to the 4th volume, do you know what it's called?
Ass shaking.
The New Nigga. And now they're showing pictures of niggas eating watermelon, slavery. They showing those kinds of pictures in Western art. The first set of books is showing the black aristocracy in Europe. It shows all of the magi, the wise men, as black. Now, for the Christians out there who think we always banging on Christianity, first off, the oldest form of Christianity in the world is Ethiopia. And what they call Christ in Ethiopia, do you know? Do you know what they call Jesus in Ethiopia?
What was that?
Haru. Haru is the Egyptian falcon god on my shirt.
That's why, because he was hung high, so they had him like a falcon, right? No?
No. Again, Haru, Horus, you look up the Greek word for son of, it's Hurias. Huias. It means son of God. Huias. From that ancient Egyptian word. No, huius. From that H, from the word Horus. Horus also produces the word horizon. Why? Because you see the sun rays walking across the water as it rises. God walking on water. These people don't understand the fucking science.
But they haven't been taught either.
That's why we got to do this. That's why I'm tired of the African American fucking narrative. The African American narrative is sanctioned by white supremacy.
Everything that they fund is bullshit. Black colleges.
Whoa.
That's why I don't understand the NAACP.
Yeah, I saw that one too.
Everything that they fund is bullshit because.
And where did it start? The NAACP was funded and supported by white people. That's how it got its start.
Keely Copland was the president of the NAACP.
One of the C's stands for colored. So that ain't even you.
So it's Planned Parenthood, basically.
Oh, Planned Parenthood. Margaret Sanger. And who they got supporting Planned Parenthood in the African American community? Black clergy.
The church,
Pimps who want jets from broke bitches in Atlanta who take the child support money and give it to Creflo and say they baby daddy ain't shit. You's a lousy bitch if you gave that man a dime.
Right. I'm not a nigga. I'm a knocker. I'm a knocker, nigga. I'm one of them. Right? I'm a niggas.
I'm a niggas.
Right? Motherfuckers don't understand this, but we have to take the narrative back. That's what it means. Listen. Today's show, we revealed some shit that a lot of people didn't know about, right?
Including me. I ain't gonna lie about it.
A lot of people didn't know about this, right? And me, Bobby, Corey, Jeff, and Freeze, we've been talking this shit for years about taking control of your narrative. What does it mean to do that when you put a magical arrangement of words together that is designed to take control of your destiny? What does that mean?
It's a spell.
Okay.
It's a spell.
Something you just said rung a bell in my head.
Say it again.
That
It's a spell.
What is a spell again, Zoe?
That when you put together, the law of attraction calls it affirmations, right? Positive and lucrative opportunities are consistently manifesting themselves to me and through me for my benefit and for the benefit of others. That's one of my daily affirmations, right? When you start putting an arrangement of words together,
or letters, or to spell.
When you're spelling, you're creating a spell. When you're writing something and you're putting it together, it is a spell. This is our culture. Now, what spell have we been repeating over and over? We've been repeating the ghost spell or the gospel.
Wow.
The gospel.
What you said about learning here today, and there was something that you did not know, means that everything that you told everything that you told somebody that came before you or after you, outside of what you learned today, was not a lie. It was the truth that you were given by a liar. So what you teach people outside of this bullshit is not wrong. It's not wrong that my grandparents taught me that God is hope and Jesus is the way, because that was their truth. But that truth was given to them by a dirty, lying motherfucker. So it's not them that's wrong. You ain't wrong. It's that motherfucker that gave it to you. And we need to examine that motherfucker back there.
There's a lot of people out there, if they heard the truth, they would recognize it, and it would basically wreck everything they've learned since they've been on this planet. And that's when you define who you are. Because when I start hearing the truth, because, I grew up in the church, choir, every week and all that shit.
Altar boy.
When I got older and I started hearing other shit, I knew it wasn't bullshit.
Right.
And I think that's what defines you. When you could keep lying to yourself after you know it's some bullshit to what you've been taught, something wrong with you.
Yeah.
That's an insane motherfucker to me. A motherfucker who lie to himself.
Well, some of that's visual, as he talked about growing up in the church. It's not always what you heard, it's what you saw. It's like, okay, They keep saying that this is the way I'm supposed to do things, but little boy, that sure do look like the preacher.
And on top of that, man,
Wow.
when I used to see people,
Right.
when I used to see people shout in church, I used to be like, wait a minute. I know this bitch. I just finger fucked this bitch in choir
4 hours
rehearsal.
ago.
And now this bitch got, what you call it, the Holy Spirit.
Right.
Get the fuck out of here. This bitch jumping up and down
I had hot
for
sauce
some
on my
attention.
finger.
And next week's show, when I do the Hotep show, because we the only culture that fucking cannibalize the real shit because a few bad apples in the quote-unquote conscious black movement. Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't label myself shit. I'm not a conscious black man. I'm not down with these labels. What I am down with is the motherfucking truth. Corey just said something about when you hear the truth, something in your being resonates and says, that shit's true. It rings true. Cool Mo D, one of my best friends, says, hey nigga, once you ring a bell, you can't unring it. You gonna feel and hear that shit when it rings true. Quincy Jones told me to get a book that speaks to that science, called The Science of Kinesiology, right? The name of this book is called Power versus Force. And it has a list of different terms that rings true and rings false. Listen, when I put these shows together, I'm not putting these shows together to compete with other bitch-ass niggas out here in the streets. I'm putting these shows together because, hey, there's a legacy here that's going to be on YouTube that young kids can watch and be changed internally. It's not for for entertainment. It's not for no bullshit. It's really to say, I'm going to start this dialogue in your heart. And I'm going to see if you're going to pick up the baton and run with it. Because this shit could change your fucking life if you got real and authentic about it. But if you just playing games and being a spin artist and turning stories just to be relevant, just to keep motherfuckers' names in your mouth, nigga, I'm telling you, this that bullshit. I'm trying to change motherfuckers' lives for real.
It's all gonna be seen. That's why I said to you the other day, Zoe, keep your course going, because what you doing is powerful. These other motherfuckers, we ain't never got to say no names, because everybody know who the phony motherfuckers are. Got bullshit not only coming out their mouth, they hustle what they heard you say.
Right.
One of the main pussy motherfuckers we all know had a t-shirt for sale that said skeet and skedaddle.
That's
we
what
know where
you
that
say.
came from. That's you.
Yeah.
Them motherfuckers is just like that movie Zoolander. You have to remember, this is a motherfucker who watching you. He's not the real deal, and you knew that from the beginning. I'm not talking about nobody in particular, but it can be.
Right.
Because we know who the hoes are.
Right.
They shit will be studied too, and it's going to be shown, oh, they ain't shit. It's a comic in New York named Freddie Ricks. He do these impersonations. But look, I used to see a lot of comics do the impersonations. I used to be like, damn, this motherfucker, they
Then
good.
you realize
Then when you see Freddie Ricks,
You see where it all came
you
from.
realize, oh, that's the motherfucker right there.
Right,
that's who
right.
they imitating.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying, Zoe. It's all gonna be seen.
Right.
It's all gonna be seen.
Right.
And Kenny Williams. There's a lot biting Kenny Williams right now, too.
We don't have a lot of time to be bullshitting. I don't want to fight with niggas. I don't want to debate. I don't want to do none of that shit. I want to deliver information and get the fuck out the way.
Well, I will fight if that shit is about that shit, though. There's some shit you can't do.
Sometimes you gotta put hands on a nigga. I understand.
Some niggas you got to slap the shit out of them on sight.
You got to put them doorknobs on them.
On sight.
I understand. I got that.
You got to bang bang.
Listen, we gotta take a quick break. When we come back, the finale of this shit. We cooking with grease tonight, motherfuckers. Holla. So, today's topic, man, was an in-depth look at the word nigga. Europeans did not create it, right? Negro, some people necro, right? You know, necro meaning dead, where you get your word necromancy, right? Right? Again, everything that is associated to us, they tried to label it as bad. Mordred, morbid, rigor mortis. You look at the word more, morus, from the Latin morus, is where we get our word Maurice. All means black. That's what they called you before they called you nigga. More, right? The French word more, M-O-R-E, which means more. We knew we were more than you. Do you understand that? We knew we were more than you from the start. We don't know that anymore. Look at the African American that'll point out the color disparity between brothers. Right? I'm a half-breed because I got 2 black parents. Right? But I came out with green eyes. Every skin color, every eye color, every nose shape, every lip formation comes from Africa. Every single one of them. Blue and gray eyes do not appear on the genetic chart until 10,000 years ago, which is relatively early. That's new shit. That's late in the game. Green, brown, hazel, dark brown, black eyes are black features. If you're an African who lived in an arid place where there's a desert, your nose is thin, like a white boy. In other words, the white boy got your nose. He had to draw from somewhere. You can't get a red rose from a white one. But you can get a white one from a red one. Do you see how being a dignified African American is something to be held up by niggas who are devoid of who the fuck they really are? It's a joke, and it's a sad joke. You know those jokes that be fucking hurtful and funny at the same time? So technically, Chris Rock was wrong when he said we got to get rid of the niggas. There's black folk and there's niggas. Well, I'm going to tell you, the black folk or the African American will keep white supremacy alive by being in alignment with the template of success, with the template of growth that was written by the oppressor. They're going to keep white supremacy alive by doing right, go along to get along, acting right. That's going to keep white supremacy alive. And the truth is, the one who finds out that the niggas, the naga, the god, has the power to free himself from this most vile society. Whether rich or poor, as long as we live within another person's paradigm, we're just coping and surviving. Whether rich or poor, we're just coping and surviving. African American are the system's version of who they want you to be. The nigga is actually the God/enlightened version of ourselves. The key to controlling a people is to get them to buy into a narrative of weakness that the dominant society has prepared for you. And that's who the fuck we are as black people today. When I see a sister say, well, white women are married by the average age of 25, and they're having their first child by the age of 27. How come I can't have that fairy tale? It's not your narrative. Well, how come they didn't recognize Selma at the Oscars? It's not your narrative. You better be glad your ass was allowed to come into the event. Hi, niggas over there in the corner who was nominated. Right? Imagine the power of hip-hop. A lot of us brothers who were a part of hip-hop back in the day know. When Public Enemy, KRS-One, X-Clan, the motherfuckers had to come with niggas with attitudes. But it wasn't nagas with attitude. It wasn't niggas with attitude. They knew what they were doing because they knew Farrakhan's voice came wrapped around Public Enemy's power. You dope dealer using your fame as a DJ to sell drugs? Who the fuck is that? That's Farrakhan in a rap record? Consciousness was rising. No. Let's get fuck the police in here. Let's get gangsta in here. Let's get a bitch is a bitch in here. Changed the energy. Can you imagine if niggas with attitude really meant niggas with attitude? Really meant nagas with attitude? Can you imagine what they could have said? What they could have done? Now look at it today. We rapping about shit on your dick called truffle butter. Oh yeah. Drake, Lil Wayne. Look at what we rapping about today. Truffle butter is fucking a girl in the ass and getting shit on your dick and then fucking her in the pussy afterwards. There's your narrative. There's your narrative. So what I'm saying is, I'm the truth about mine. I'm flawed. I have anger issues. I need conflict resolution. I need healing. I done made mistakes, but I'm true about mine. This nigga know me. When I was 17, that's when I made my turn. I'm 43 now. I've been on this path ever since then. So when niggas speak on me that don't know me, sometimes I get a little offended, but that's because I got some growing to do. But I'm telling y'all right now, this platform, this show, this movement is about changing the condition of our people, but we cannot do that until we change the thought process. Once we change the thought process, we will then begin to heal. And that's when we can start building the kind of reality we want to build. I'm Zoe Williams, and that's my final thought. Bobby, where can they find you, brother?
They can find me at www.realmendon'tplay.com, and I got niggas in my book, Real Men Don't Play.
There we go. Corey Holcomb.
Hey, Kansas City, I'm out there at your Improv this weekend. Y'all come fuck with me. I want to say to all the niggas of Kansas City, y'all pray for me as I will be trying to thrash y'all beaches.
Cool. Hey, Freeze, where you, man?
Freez Luv. Download my app. I got an app now. It's called Freez Luv, FREEZLUV. Download it at Google Play if you have an Android. Download it at iTunes if you have an iPhone. Also, I'm going to be at the comic strip in El Paso this week from Wednesday to next Sunday. And on April 1st.
I'm there.
You got to be there. You got to be there. You got to be there. We are at Pasadena Ice House for the Baggers Collective.
I'm bagging. Niggas don't know I can do it.
This is what you don't know. Zoe Williams, very intelligent man.
That's where it starts.
But
there's some niggas in it.
Zoe is one of the premier baggers. When I say baggers, you call it mama jokes. The dozens is really what it is. And remember, the dozens was the slave term of the game. The dozens man was the guy who went out and talked about the slaves and put the value of a slave down, or talked the master out of buying this slave so that they wouldn't separate a family on the plantation, or whatever the purpose was. We developed this game of tearing each other down, but it's not to hurt you.
It's just going to be hysterical.
It's hysterical, and that's what the Baggers Collective is.
All right,
and invitation only. Come April 1st at the Ice House.
There we go.
Geoff Brown, April 1st at the Ice House.
Jeff is one of the baggers.
Oh,
of
yes.
the baggers.
Yes.
Yes,
it's gonna be crazy.
April 1st, I'm gonna be in New York at that April Fool's show.
Hey, listen, I urge everybody. I'm not bullshitting. Come out, support my So What morning show and relationship dismount. A lot of people, for some reason, we not getting a lot of donations. But I will say I appreciate the 87 people who have donated. So I need your help. We're only at 5%. We got 31 days left.
Put your money where your mind is.
I need your help on this. Indiegogo, So What morning show and relationship dismount book tour. Please support the movement. I appreciate everybody who tuned in today. And see me tonight, 5 to 7 p.m. Dash Radio. It's going to be crazy. I'll holler at y'all in a minute.